This webinar, we're going to be talking about how to know if drinking is becoming a problem. Of course, we're talking about drinking alcohol. And sometimes people feel like they're managing their drinking, but are they really? So we're going to be breaking that down. My name is McConkey. I am a farm girl turned farm counselor. I work with farmers and ranchers every day on many life stresses that they are experiencing and enduring. So let's jump in. 14 signs that drinking may be a problem, and we'll talk these through one at a time. The first sign is that you or the people around you notice that there's an increase in drinking alone. So no longer has drinking become a social event. Rather, it's become something that you do when you're by yourself, many times in an effort to cope with emotions that you don't want to be experiencing. So number one, an increase in drinking alone. Number two, you may find yourself justifying your alcohol use. So for example, if someone points out, hey, you're drinking a lot, or you're drinking alone, or you're at the bar more than normal, there is justification for those concerns. Number three, which goes along with justification, is a refusal to admit there is a problem, even when things start to fall apart around you. So even when relationships are impacted, or your health is impacted, or something has happened in a legal realm, for example, a DUI, there is a refusal to admit that you have a problem with alcohol use. Fourth, you may be experiencing mood swings. And these mood swings can go from being very low and depressed and not having energy to almost a manic phase where you're feeling really good. You have a lot of energy. You may feel intense happiness. And it can also include feelings of or moods of anger where your temper is soaring. And that's not something that's typical for you. So the mood swings can look very different depending on what's happening. But the point is that you are experiencing them on a level that you haven't before. That could be an indication that alcohol is a problem. Number five, increased tolerance. So maybe in the past, one or two drinks was enough to relax you or was adequate in a social setting, but now you find yourself drinking more and more and more and purchasing more and more and more alcohol because your body is developing a tolerance to it. Number six, there's a general inability to stop drinking. The craving is there. You are seeking out alcohol during social events, driving through town, you find yourself stopping to purchase alcohol. There's that inability to stop even when you feel like you want to, or even when you've made that commitment that I am not drinking at this family event, for example, but you find yourself drawn there. Number seven, you may experience increased aggression. That can be verbal aggression in terms of arguments or verbally attacking those around you, or it can mean physical aggression, where suddenly you're experiencing being involved in physical altercations, pushing, shoving, physical fights that was not an issue for you in the past. So keep in mind, aggression is not just physical, but it can also be verbal aggression. Number eight is secretive behavior. So when I talk to people who are struggling with alcohol use or to their family members who have started to notice it, I hear a lot about hiding alcohol in certain places, keeping it in vehicles, leaving to go drink, not letting your family know about the amount of time you're spending at the bar, or driving around drinking. There are a lot of secrets around your alcohol use. That is an indication that it is becoming a problem. Ninth, you may find yourself making irrational decisions where afterwards, in retrospect, you're wondering, why would I have done that? That did not make any sense at all. Or you may be hearing from your friends or family members that you're making decisions that put you at risk or that impact your finances or your family or your relationships, and it's very irrational. So sometimes we won't notice it about ourselves when we're having problems with alcohol and drinking, but other people around us will be expressing their concern. So it's important that we hear them. Number 10, you may experience a decline in your relationships with your spouse, with your children, with your parents, with close friends, with people that you work with, your supervisors or managers may start to really fall apart. You may find yourself becoming involved in verbal arguments with them, not showing up in your relationships in a way that like you did in the past. So there will be a general decline in the functioning of your relationships. 11th, you may experience blackouts. This is very scary, where you may wake up in a location and not remember how you got there. Or people will be telling you that things happened and you have no memory of that. That is important to tune into because that is an indication that your body is struggling also with the amount of alcohol that you are consuming. 12th, if you find yourself drinking in the morning, people who are increasing their alcohol intake often will find themselves opening bottles or cans of alcohol in the morning, adding it to their coffee before they ever even eat any food. So pay attention. If you find yourself drinking in the morning, that is an indication that alcohol use is a problem. 13, decreased productivity. Are you not getting done the things that you used to be able to get done? So for farmers, are you not having your equipment maintained? Is your livestock not being cared for? Are things around the farm site or your home falling into disrepair because you are unable to be productive due to the amount of alcohol you are consuming? If you work off the farm or in a job role, are you finding that you are taking more time off? That you are calling in sick more? That when you are at work, you're not able to focus because you just don't feel good? So watch for areas where your productivity is decreasing. And then 14, are you experiencing shakiness? And again, these are some of the physical impacts because we know alcohol is a poison to our body. And so consuming a lot of alcohol will have physical impact. And one of the first signs is that you notice that your hands are shaky or you feel shaky just as you're moving or even sitting without movement. So those are 14 signs to really tune into. If you are experiencing any one of those, it is time to really take a look at your alcohol use and how that is impacting your life and your functioning. So why do people drink? Many times when I'm working with families or friends and they're concerned about someone, they've tried things like dumping out all of the alcohol or stopping them from going to the bar, and they find it ineffective. And the reason that it's ineffective is because it's not getting to the root cause that's driving people to consume that alcohol. So why do people drink too much? What is causing that? And there are different things that can cause people to turn to alcohol. One of the primary causes is coping with stress. It is their way to relax. It is their way to ease their overthinking when their mind is going, going, going. And so it becomes their coping strategy. People also use it to manage emotions. So if they're feeling intense sadness, or if they're feeling intense anxiety or depression, alcohol becomes, again, a coping strategy for them to level out those emotions. There's also a social piece to alcohol use, where many events, gatherings, tailgating at the game, going to the bar after work, really often all revolve around the consumption of alcohol. So when someone makes the choice to no longer participate in drinking or they're in recovery, that's a very difficult thing because their social group and social interaction has really revolved around the use of alcohol. And then fourth is environment. Many times people's consumption of alcohol is based in part on the way they grew up. Was there alcohol use in their home? How was that alcohol use managed by their parents? Was it consumed in a responsible way, or was there overuse or abuse of alcohol when you were a child growing up? So the environment plays a really large role. There can also be past traumas that bring up emotions or stress, and it's never been dealt with. So the coping strategy becomes use or consumption of alcohol in a way that's not healthy. So what do you do if you feel like you have a problem? Number one, talk to somebody. Talk to somebody about what you're noticing, what people around you are telling you, what your concerns are. And this can be a faith community leader, like a pastor or a priest. It can be a trusted friend or family member, someone that will hold your conversation in confidence, believe you, and assist you in the next step, which is seeking help. It is so important that when you start to notice that you are having problems with alcohol use, that you don't isolate and turn inward. Most of the time, that perpetuates more use and more damage. So, number one, talk with someone about your concerns and about what you're hearing from others. And number two, seek help. There are a lot of options for treatment or counseling around alcohol use. There are many options for treatment or counseling around alcohol use that you can explore. The second part of that is, what do I do if I'm worried about someone? So I'm a friend or a family member that is very concerned about someone who appears to be having a problem with drinking. Number one, be sure you find support for yourself. Be sure that you are talking to others. Maybe you are accessing counseling or accessing a group for family members or friends of alcoholics. So very important to find support for yourself and to implement self-care. Second, plan ahead what you want to say to them. When I work with family members who are concerned about someone, we talk through, what points do I want to bring up? Because most of the time, when you approach them, they will rationalize and deny and blame. Um, it's not unusual for someone to disagree with you that they have a problem, even if it seems very, very obvious. So plan ahead what you want to say to them. And you may even write it down and bring it with you, and that's okay. The next step is sitting down and talking with them. And sometimes it's really helpful to have more than one person in the room with you. So other friends and family that care about that individual. So sometimes we term this as an intervention, where people gather and they confront the individual with their drinking and then have resources to get them to help. And if that's what you're interested in doing, there's a lot of information online on how to do an effective intervention with someone. But when you're talking with them, do your best to stay calm and rational. Know that they will deny or blame or justify, and don't let that trip you up. Look at what you plan to say and stick with that script in a calm and rational manner. And then offer options for help. Do some homework beforehand. Look at what's out there for treatment. You may even want to call and see if they currently have openings in their program, so that when you're talking to the individual and if they accept that they need to get help, you already know I can call and we can get them signed up or enrolled or registered in a program that has openings available. This is my contact information. I invite you to follow me or contact me at any time if you would like to discuss this further. And here is contact information for Karen Stallman. And I want to point you to this website that's listed on the page. It's siumed.org/farm. On this website are a number of resources that you can access for a variety of farm stress issues, including mental health and substance use counseling. Thank you very much.